Alright, I'm back. So, basically I just opened up everything and organized it. I'll attach some pictures in a Facebook message to Mom so you can have her look at those. It's just basically how I organized it. For the example that I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to use blue. It's going to show up very well on the camera, so I'm just going to use blue. And so, for this, you're going to need the blue pen paired with the blue highlighter and the blue flags. And then you're going to need one of these rings, okay? So the first thing that you want to do after you have all of your supplies that I showed you in the previous video is you want to kind of make a key. And here I kind of took the classes that I know you're taking and I put them in a key. So you want to keep this at the desk so that you know and you don't ever mix up what colors you're using for what classes. So history is blue, algebra is green, physics is purple, personal finances is orange, English is red. Red, it's okay to use your pink highlighter. There's no such thing as a red highlighter. And even if there was, it probably wouldn't show up very well. And then Spanish is pink. Okay? So just make sure that you have a key, that you know what colors your classes are, and that you stick to that. So just keep that at the front desk. Okay, so the first thing, now mind you, this is how I study. I study fast. I'm done with my test now, and I did so very successfully. So this is a proven study method. It works. And I was taking 2 tests a week at sometimes, and it's hard. It's almost like taking a final exam every 3 days. So it's hard. It's not easy like you do on the computer. And so you got to get yourself in the mindset right now on how to study, and so that you can be successful when you leave high school, because when you go to college, you're not always going to have that computer there. It's not always going to be the same, but the way you study can be, okay? So that's what I'm going to explain to you, is kind of how to study. So the first thing that you're going to do is you sign in. You get your class up for the day. The first thing that I want you to do is, once again, grab these utensils. You want these, okay? Highlighter, pen, flag. And the only thing that you need at this point is the spiral binder, okay? The blank spiral binder. And notice I'm using blue, and if you go back to our key, I said blue was history. I don't know a lot about history, so I'm totally making up some sort of example. So don't think that this is anything educational at all, because it's really not. I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to history, but I'm just going to show you the example, and I'm sure you can adapt to it. So the only thing you need now is that spiral blank paper, the pen, the highlighter, and the flag, okay? So the only thing that you really need, and honestly, you're going to use the blue pen, and you're going to put at the top of the paper in capital letters what the class is. So whatever it's titled, whatever class it is, if they lecture it by if they label the video by what lecture it is, or what class it is, or really what it's going over, that's what I want you to put at the top. So if the video is named, World History Video 1, put World History Video 1. If it's specifically like a certain war, or it's just has a date on it, whatever that video is labeled, put that in bold at the top, and it's just a reference, okay? So then you're going to go through your video, and you're just going to listen. And the only thing that you're going to do on this piece of paper, there is a reason it has no lines on it, okay? You're just going to jot down notes, okay? So say that they start saying stuff, and you don't even have to look at your paper. You can, but you don't have to. You can look at your teacher, the instruction. If there's an example on the board, look at that, whatever you have to do. But this paper is here just for notes. And these notes are not going to be in sentences. They say something about 1946 and John Wilkes. You're going to just write 1946, John Wilkes. If there's something about the Battle of the Buffalo, like I said, not educational at all, you're just going to write down Battle of the Buffalo, okay? If they say something about, I don't know, any sort of date, you want to write down any sort of date, July 4th, 1776. You want to write down any date that is said, any name that is said, any any title of any war, anything like that, anything that really jumps out, okay? Let's see, any key points, any key terms, just write down. Like if you have to define the words war, or you have to define the word, heck, I don't know. I really have no idea what you're studying right now, so just bear with me. But I just want you to see that this is how you need to be taking notes when they're talking. If they say something about war, write down the name war. If they say something about John Wilkes, John Wilkes. Any sort of date, the date needs to be written down. Anything that you think is important, write down. It should only be, again, I'm going to iterate, dates, names, titles, events. Things like that are things that should be inside of this step 1 lecture, okay? And that's exactly what this is. This is your step 1, and this is during the lecture. There is no sentences. There is no if, and, buts, thus, no connecting words. Just notes, okay? Bear with me. You might not think this is going to work, but I promise it will. Because when you're sitting there and you're having a lecture and somebody's explaining something to you, you want your full attention on that person, okay? You want all of your attention on that person. So you want to be listening to what they're telling you. So look at them, listen, and just write down the key words. Not a sentence, not a statement, not a paragraph, just a word or a number, okay? Very important. So that is your step 1 lecture. And I'll be back for step 2.